Hi guys, so today we're going to be talking about kind of like my top 4 memorization techniques, and I told you guys that I have some memorization techniques that I learned at Brown. I really think that these might be beneficial to you. If you want to see my first video on kind of study techniques and all that stuff, I'll make sure to link it somewhere on the screen or make sure to link it below because I think that video will also be helpful. The first technique I would say is mind mapping, and mind mapping is something that wasn't really new to me when going to Brown, but the way that they thought about it and explained it made more sense to me than it ever did before. I made a little one for you guys just to show you what it would look like. It's basically when you take one center idea and you branch off other ideas on your paper. And so this mind map says top 3 movies, and it says Transformers, Bad Teacher, and Cars 2. And then on the other side, it gives you like, I put down 2 extra little like squigglies, I guess, and that gives you a small detail about whatever it is, this main point, main detail. So it could be main characters, it could be main plot line, whatever, some sort of main detail that is really important or key to each movie. And then also on the side you can see that I have little pictures, and this is good for the visual aspect of your learning as well. So basically, you study all the information that you have, right? And you jot down all these notes and stuff like that. Something that is easier to look at is a mind map rather than all those notes, because it can be really overwhelming for your mind and you just to look at all those notes trying to memorize the key information. Once you take all those notes after studying whatever you're studying for, say you're studying for a history test, take the main ideas and separate them into categories, just like I did on the mind map. So it can be, the main idea could be, you know, whatever your history test is about, and then you branch off however many branches you have. Most likely the most branches that you should have is 10, because if it gets overwhelming, then again, it will be the same overwhelming feeling as looking at notes. So you put your branches and then you put down the main ideas, and then the small branches are just to be small details that you think are key and important, not a bunch of details like every single date that you've ever seen or every single name that you've ever seen in the article. You kind of just want to put down the most important date and the most important name or something that will help you recall the information. The number one benefit about mind mapping is that it's just overall easier to look at. So when you're looking at it and you're studying it, you have one sheet to look at for the whole entire test, important information that you think you can recall other details from just by looking at that one sheet. Seeing the whole view and seeing this whole mind map relating to one big idea will help you mentally kind of create more connections and links to why all these things are important, which makes you actually care about them and want to know about them and be really well prepared for the test. I think mind mapping is a really, really good way to study. So that's the first one, mind mapping. Hopefully you guys got a good idea of what that is. The second technique is called pegs or power pegs. Now some people I know have heard of power pegs before. Before going to Brown University, I've never heard of power pegs. So I'll just kind of explain to you what they are. It's a list of either 20 or 30 pegs, I guess, or things that relate to numbers. So for instance, like one sun, the reason why sun relates to 1 is because there's only one sun in the sky. You're associating things with the peg that you've already memorized. Outrageous associations are the best because those are easiest for you to kind of like pop up in your head. So for instance, say you're trying to memorize this one word. The one word is outrageous, right? So in order for me to memorize, it most likely has to be a list of words. Say the one word is outrageous. How do you make outrageous relate to one sun? You make it relate because you can say there's this outrageous sun that fell out of the sky and it crashed all the people below it or something like that. You'll remember that because, you know, suns don't fall out of the sky. It's something outrageous, which makes you remember one sun outrageous. So if you have like a bunch of lists of different words that you need to memorize and you need to relate them to the power peg, make sure your story or relation is something that's crazy or something like that to make you memorize it more. So I'm going to tell you the 20 power pegs that I think they're the standard 20 power pegs. These are the ones that they taught me. So they also have motions to them also. I don't want to make myself look like a fool. You can do it with me if you want, but I actually found these the most helpful studying techniques ever, this power pegs, because I can memorize anything. If you give me a list of 20 things I can memorize it within 10 minutes because of the power pegs. I'm not even kidding. Like, those are exercises that we worked on in Brown. So the first power peg is one sun. So you can do your hands like this to make one sun. And why is it one sun? Because there's only one sun. So that's why you can relate one to one sun. The second one is two eyes. So the motion for this is two eyes. The reason why eyes relates to two is because there are only two eyes. The third one is three triangle, and so you just say three triangle. And you know, clearly in class I'm not going to be like one sun, outrageous, or something like that, and say it out loud. It's kind of something for me to do in my head. Four floor. There are four sides and it rhymes. Five fingers. So you just go five fingers, and you know, you have five fingers. Six sticks. Six rhymes with sticks, and so you just go six sticks. 7 up. 8 octopus, because there are 8 tentacles. 9 baseball, because there are 9 players and there are 9 innings. 10 hen. 11 goal. Post looks like 11. 12 egg, so it's kind of like you're crashing an egg on your head. 13 black cat. Number 14 heart. February 14th is the day of Valentine's Day. 15 tennis, and 15 relates to tennis because there are 15 points. 16 car. You have to be 16 to get your license in most areas. It's 17 magazine. Then it's 18 graduation. The next one is 19-inch TV. The last one is 20 bucks. I know it may kind of seem like I just was not speaking English at all in that whole entire section of the video, but I promise you guys, if you just kind of rewatch that part of the video at least once a day for a week or something like that, you'll memorize the 20 power pegs. I'll remember to put the 20 power pegs below because they are so helpful, guys. So say you have 20 power pegs, but you have 30 things to memorize. Make the first 20 all in one color, and then when you have your 21st item, you can return to the first power peg and just make it a different color. Power pegs are used for people when you're trying to remember facts or something specifically in order. Also, they're used for foreign language vocabulary because trying to memorize, I guess, Spanish words or French words or something that's not really you're used to is really hard, and that's easy to memorize with power pegs. Memorizing some sort of chemistry, biology, or anything like that. It really helps with the way that you relate certain pictures and motions to words. Using that part of your brain, visuals, and using the imaginative part of your brain really helps you memorize certain things more. It makes the word or whatever you're memorizing more personal to you. So the third strategy is location, so kind of memorizing certain words, certain facts or certain dates or certain names or anything like that with locations. So say you're in your classroom or in your house, if you look at certain areas in your house and say, just make a certain area or a certain thing in your house or in a classroom relate to whatever you're memorizing. So if I look at that lamp and say I'm memorizing Spanish, and so I'm memorizing the word hola. Every time I look at that lamp, I'm always going to think of hola just because I said that. So it's kind of associating whatever you're memorizing with things around you. Again, this is making it more personal to you. I'm not talking about, you know, flashcards and this whole, you know, memorization thing. They work. Flashcards work, meaning if you put a word and another word on the side, you kind of flip through it. But the thing is, once those flashcards aren't there, a lot of people I know kind of lose a sense of their memory because they don't have their flashcards. It's not written down. If you're using your voice, kind of saying one sun, it's all up in your head. It's all, since you memorize these power pegs, you know them, so you're saying it to yourself. You don't need to walk around with flashcards in order to see the word, in order to think of whatever you wrote on this flashcard. It's the same thing with locations. When you're looking around locations or looking around at certain things, like that lamp, sure, that lamp isn't gonna, my same lamp isn't going to be in the classroom, but there may be a lamp or some type of light in the classroom. So you can associate these words and these locations with anything around the world. You don't need some flashcards just to see the word and just to see the definition, because you'll have it in your mind already, if that makes any sense to you guys. Another helpful way of location is kind of associating where you are as a clock. So if you're like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7, 12 o'clock, sure, it will only work for 12 things, but if you kind of say like, so 1 o'clock is always going to be hola, 2 o'clock is always going to be adios, something like that, where you kind of, anywhere you go, you can always think about the word or something that you associated with. And again, making it the most outrageous relation to the clock or making it the most outrageous relation to the lamp will really help you, because it's something that kind of stands out in your memory. And also you have to be like really repetitive with the way you do these things. So for instance, doing the location thing, looking at the lamp and seeing that means hola every time I say a lamp. It's not like I'm like lamp hola, alright, it's memorized. You just have to be really repetitive with it. You have to be like lamp hola. The same thing with power pegs. You have to be really repetitive and memorize the power pegs and make sure they stick in your head. Like I can say all the power pegs without looking down at my sheet in like 5 seconds. It helps me so much. I'm just like 1 sun, 2 eyes, 3 triangle, 4 floor. Like I can say them all without even looking at a sheet or anything. So if you give me a list of things to memorize associated with that, it's going to be extremely easy for me. The last thing is kind of using mystery words, I guess. So it's when you associate a word with a certain situation that's happened in your life, or if it's a word kind of like destiny, you kind of make a situation that is explaining destiny. So it's kind of the word in the definition, but you're doing it all in your head. It's not without using these flashcards. It's if I'm saying destiny, I'm just like, I'm going to find my own destiny. So it helps you memorize destiny because you've created a situation that's surrounded behind that word. You're creating scenes, incorporating the word and its definition. Those are my top 4 studying tips. I feel like they weren't really helpful. For me, in order to learn these tips, I had to kind of be very repetitive with it, like they were drilling it in our head for the week and the 1.5 weeks that we were basically there. So I would suggest rewatching this video, not just like for my sake, just to rewatch the video, but rewatch the video to kind of drill it in your head, if you get what I'm saying. And you notice that I try to give you the tips that are as different as possible, because if you're open to trying new things and new tips, it's not always going to be the same thing all the time with flashcards. Because if you notice that flashcards don't work for you, try out something new. And a lot of these tips don't involve writing on some type of piece of paper or involve anything, just written work. It's just after you've done the written work, just apply it so that you can find this information wherever you go, so that you don't need these flashcards, you don't need your iPod, you don't need your notes, but you can memorize this information wherever you go. That way you're more prepared for the test. So when you go to the test, you'll have no problem knowing the information. So if you need help with like note taking, if you need help with, I don't know, studying for certain sections, just let me know, comment below. I'm not like a professional, it's just stuff that I wanted to share with you guys. So I'm really kind of scared about posting this video up because I feel like I know this information, but it's not really easy to kind of explain it to you guys in a way that's really appealing. Today's shout of the day goes to Viva Love K, and her videos are amazing. I can tell that she is going to go so far on YouTube because she's video sounds my videos before. I'm subscribed to her personally. I just think her reviews on different products, I think her tutorials, her hair tutorials, it's all very genuine and it's all very real. So I feel like I can honestly trust her opinion, and I really care about what she has to say because she just sounds like such a genuine, real person. So you should check her out. I will link her below. She's absolutely beautiful, by the way. Subscribe to my second channel. I have videos posted on there. Like me on Facebook. I always find people there. Follow me on Twitter, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. I hope at least one person found this beneficial. So let me know if you thought this video helped, and if you didn't think this video helped, just tell me why. And yeah, so sorry. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.